go ahead and start because everyone's here. When last we left you guys, Shayna, you weren't here for this little escapade. I don't know if you managed to catch it.
I got a couple of minutes of it, but
Yeah,
internet was not good.
it's good. There was a uh, Lily and Harrow had a little adventure after discovering um they had a tail, a private investigator that was harassing Lily's brother, and they warned Erie about it, and mysteriously the cops were called on them, and and now they were able to track down the private investigator, and all signs seem to point to Yuri's boss, and now Harrow and Lily are they need to make sure they rectify this situation and install somebody they can trust at the head of that organization.
See what happens?
Can't leave you guys alone for a week.
No, you can't.
So we're actually going to start. We'll actually start with Yuri. Your boss has called you into his office. He doesn't have any real job for you, but he looks confused and says, "Yuri, thank you for joining me this night. I've been getting disturbing reports. Your some of your acquaintances seem to be digging into my affairs as of late."
Yes, boss. Then I'll present him all the stuff that they found. I said, this is what they found within the organization. They believe something's going on, and they're just looking for my best interest of it.
As long as you are aware, they have yet to make any real aggressive maneuvers towards me. But I know where your loyalties lie, and I just wanted to make sure that you are aware that your friends seem to have taken a keen interest in me.
Well, boss, they don't know you like I know you. But if we can talk, I'm sure we can come to an understanding.
I prefer not to meet people face to face. I'm shy. You know how it is.
Of course, boss. Of course.
But perhaps you could explain it to them with your special talents to leave things where they lie.
I can, boss. But since we are, I don't know how to say this without coming across as being crashed. They're out for blood. So if we can maybe have a fall guy for it, so that it doesn't point at you or somebody else in the organization, just someone that debts needs to be paid.
Vladislav has been annoying me as of late.
Has his dogs been getting out?
His dogs, he keeps on insisting it's just his inability to understand high-level mathematics, but I think he's been cooking his books just very poorly. I mean, a little bit of... I mean, I expect everyone to take a little bit of their piece, but he's been digging a little deep.
Consider it done, boss. And then I'll walk away and get on the phone and pass the information to them.
Okay. You would actually know Vladislav he runs a few clubs. He's actually not a vampire. He's a ghoul. But he would be organizationally like one of the underbosses. He technically it doesn't have your organization doesn't have that formal rank structure, but he would outrank you.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Okay. So who do you call with this information?
Well, I'm not sure if I have either one of their cell phones, but I would try to get a hold of possibly Icky to get a hold of them if I don't have their cell phone numbers readily available.
I think
I know somebody likes to have a burner phone.
I think you would at least have CC's. Harrow changes his burner phone too much. You probably have Lily's though.
I'd probably call Lily and have her talk to Cece and try to figure out if we can find Haro.
Okay.
Okay. Easy enough. I'm pretty sure Harrow had actually let Lily know where he was going to be to meet up after Yuri investigated what was going on with his boss.
Okay.
So where do you want to meet, Yuri? And I'm sure you don't want to talk about your organization on the phone, so where do you want to meet to pass the information?
You would know most of Vladislav's holdings are they're actually in Santa Rosa. They're in downtown. Generally speaking, they're all bars. He has some holdings near Sonoma State as well, like SDSU.
Wherever I think it's going to possibly hurt him the most and or get his attention the quickest for him to show up.
He has it's actually not the most lucrative, but about just off of where the interstates intersect in the highway and the the highways in Santa Rosa kind of intersect. He has a dive bar down there, but it's where he hangs out, and it's like his favorite bar nostalgically. Economically, it'd probably actually be like the 3 nightclubs he owns near SDSU. But emotionally, it would be that bar near the highways.
Well, as long as I can get his attention, pretty much I'm looking for him. I mean, I don't want to mess with his business because we can still use his business. I'm sure he has people that work for him that want to work for us.
Yeah. So if you wanted to get his attention but not actually economically damage the organization, it would be that bar near the highways.
So I suggest that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll round up Cece and Harrow and meet you there.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So all of you guys are going there?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I would say because Yuri would actually be the closest to where they were at. Harrow, you'd be the furthest. Unless you guys are all going in the van, it would. In terms of arrival, it would be Yuri, then Lily, then Cece, and then finally Harrow.
You underestimate the speed of the car that I will be driving. I'm kidding. But yeah, I'll show up separate.
Probably garnering attention is not the best thing for Harrow right now. By the way, Cece, you've been getting it. I would say it's been about a week and a half since what is colloquially being talked about in the vampire community as the incident. You'll just have to do a humanity roll at the end for the stain. You've been getting reports. There's still large. There was, I think, a car got set on fire. There was a high-speed chase. A private investigator's office got broken into in Sebastopol. Actually, relatively near where your mom's shop is.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, the cops killed a guy. That's actually been the biggest thing is excessive police brutality. They keep on insisting there was somebody with a gun. There was no one with a gun. Like everyone saw it on the news. Like the helicopter showed it, but like hail of bullets into this car was actually what killed the private investigator.
Yuri might have sent you a picture of Harrow and Lily on a tandem bike.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was the highlight
If
of
he
last.
did, it's my wallpaper
That's right.
on that phone.
Mhm.
It's definitely the one.
So yeah. So this is probably the first time any of you have really seen each other all in one group. But as you arrive at this bar, it's a typical off the highway. Pretty much the only thing the building could be is either a bar or a gas station at this point. Cars are lined up, most of them 5 years old at the youngest. In violation of California law, you actually see a plume of cigarette smoke kind of coming out of the doorways. Like, no one seems to care. The door is slightly hanging. It's on its hinges, but it's like creaking open. Everything smells of cigarette smoke.
Okay.
And Harrow shows up, apparently dressed to the nines.
Oh yeah, like tails, top hat, cane, the works.
And like definitely whatever car, like the van fits right into this.
Yep.
But whatever, and so does Yuri's car. But whatever Harrow just showed up in it draws stares.
Cool.
So yeah, you're just looking at this bar. What do you guys want to do?
I want to go up to Yuri and ask him, so did you find out why he had this unusual interest in my family?
No, I didn't find that out. Maybe you can ask him yourself. All I know is this seems to be the guy that was actually a person that seemed to be tied up with all this.
All right. You think he's in there, or are we going to have to lure him?
Well, if we all order his favorite drink, I'm sure he'll come out.
All right. Do we need to know anything else about him? Is he like us, or is he supernatural at all?
Well, I give you guys information that it's passed to me that he's a gold. Anything else to worry about? Maybe something that his car possibly,
I mean,
pretty much it's us against the ball.
what you know about him is that he's a blood addicted ghoul. He's paranoid as all crap. He's really annoying. He does have two very loud yippy like Pomeranians that he likes to carry around with him. He's, I would say, in his mid 40s. He's a mainstay. Like he's useful because no one really trusts him, but he's too slimy to really how do you say it? No one really trusts him, but he's never going to turn on anyone because he's kind of dumb. But is there anything else you want to know, or are you guys entering the bar? Oh, and also, his favorite drink. He prefers a scotch on the rocks. Occasionally a Churchill, but or Winston Highball. But he usually doesn't even bother with that. He just usually it's a low, like bottom shelf scotch on the rocks.
Okay. Well, if we can see his car, I think I'd like to disable it before we go in.
Okay, you don't know what his car looks like, so I will need Lily, I'll need you to give me a wits awareness check. You don't have any like predatory senses or anything, do you?
Let me see. I've got
Yuri and I are on the same page with this. I'm just saying.
I was actually gonna make that joke, like just flash all the tires, and then it's just a vandalism.
Okay, so
the only thing I have is unerring aim outside of other stuff, so I don't think that's really.
so you're just gonna disable everyone's tires.
Unless Cece can sniff it out with her higher off specs than mine.
I was just gonna offer that, but I mean,
Okay.
I only have a dot, so mine's not as good.
that's fair. I have a few, so I could do that if you would.
You can do a wits awareness check, add your aspects to it if you would like to.
Okay. Sure.
You could also disable. The one thing you do notice is that there's at least 4 motorcycles out in the front, and disabling their tires might not be the best idea because they're easily viewable from the one window. And usually disabling motorcycles will get their owners very, very pissed at you very, very, very quick.
Very true.
Should have scrambled their brains.
Okay, with that crit, and let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what car it is. You can smell the Pomeranian in the back seat of the car.
I can sense hyper dog.
Yeah. It actually looks amazingly like Yuri's car. It's same crap make. It actually looks less well taken care of than even Yuri's old Yugo. But how do you want to disable it?
Well, could pull the crap. I'm blanking on it. The main spark plug in the engine.
Okay.
It's a great way to disable a vehicle.
Well, you're pulling the spark plugs. Do you have the tool for that, or do you mean the radiator cap?
Either
Or
the radiator
distributor
cap, yeah, distributor cap.
Yeah. Okay.
She's a brute. She can just rip that shit right on out of there, right? Oh, twist it real fast with celerity.
Uh-huh.
Just stab the tires. Someone has a knife.
Distributor cap or tires, either one. I'm not gonna have you roll it before it's easy enough to do. I just want to know: do you want tires or do you want distributor cap?
Distributor cap.
Okay.
That way, it's less noticeable upon just looking out the window.
Okay.
Except the hood's up.
Well, actually, there's a different problem. Can I get a wits larceny check from who's ever doing the disabling for this?
Can I walk into the bar and just be a distraction?
Yeah, if you want to.
Because
Distraction?
I'm ostentatious. Yeah, I'm ostentatious as all hell. If I walk in there, all eyes are gonna be on me.
All eyes are pretty much already on you. Like the guy's car is actually kind of parked around back at a service entrance. So but all eyes are basically fixed between your car and the tail and the tux. Everyone's just kind of staring at you.
Okay.
I'm here for you guys.
Thank you. I'm rolling
you-
like a winner tonight.
That's not bad. That's still 2.
Yeah.
There's an alarm on this car.
Ah.
Bum, bum, bum.
Can I disable it? Probably not. I don't think Lily knows enough about that. So I guess we're going to go for the tires.
Okay. You poke the tires and it's an impact alarm. It still sets off the car.
It's an impact alarm. Okay.
The most car alarms are.
Well, maybe he'll just come out running now, and you can talk to him outside.
I doubt that.
Could we set something up like Caltrops behind the tires so that when he tries to reverse out of the stall, he
that's
flattens
easy.
them?
Yeah, that's easy enough. You can prop up like a knife behind the tire.
Yeah, let's just do that.
It's actually
Okay.
a better way of puncturing the tire, anyways.
Yeah, it is.
Just
So
park
he
him in
has
with
to
the
get to
van.
his car first. If we can stop him from getting in the car, we don't have to worry about this at all. Just let you guys know.
That's
Park him in
true.
with the van. I don't know.
Okay. Tire knife is set up.
Harrow and Cece, or Harrow and Lily, just don't want another car chase.
Don't want to end up on a tandem bike again. That was ridiculous. And then, yeah, I guess we'll go inside and order.
Okay,
Scotch
Harrow's
and
already
Fox.
inside. We'll go something. Harrow, as soon as you walk in, everyone is staring at you, but at the same time, they're still like drinking and knowing whatever they're doing. This is not a place to socialize. This is a place to get blitzed. You're muted.
Because it's Sunday, and I like to do that on Sundays. You guys are not working on your lip reading?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so because it's that kind of establishment, I'm going to walk up to the bar and immediately start socializing.
Okay. How do you do that? Like, I'll say at the bar. So there's the bartender. There's a woman in her, I would say, late 50s. She actually seems to be the primary source of all this cigarette smoke. Like, other people are smoking, but like, she has an ashtray in front of her that's just like, she's probably as soon as she was done with whatever work she does, she posted up at this bar and hasn't stopped drinking and smoking since.
I'm gonna walk up to the bar stool next to her, toss my top hat down onto the bar like I'm just, holy fuck, parents, am I right? And I'm just gonna like companionably give her like a little elbow to the shoulder and start going on about how my dad had this crazy gala event at his new winery tonight, and here I had to show up and be all primp and processed, and he had to make up lies about how successful I'm not in life, and just really like start going to town about a life story that's completely made up as I go.
I'm assuming you're doing this fairly loud too, right?
Oh yeah, my entire intention is to take the attention away from everybody in my party.
Okay.
The coterie is
I'm
under the
not even
radar.
have you roll for it. Like there's enough people that this is gonna piss off. That actually I do want to roll. I'm going to say that the better your roll, the quicker this is gonna cause a problem, and we'll determine if you because they're still outside apparently having an argument how to disable this car. They finally decided that and I'll say like that took 2 minutes.
So what would you like me to roll, and do my good looks count?
Your good looks definitely count. I need because you are trying to manipulate. I need a manipulation. Subterfuge, I guess, because you are lying. Okay, so 4. So probably right before. Who's of the three of you? Who is the first person to enter the bar? Are you all entering at the same time? Lily?
Yeah, I'll enter first.
So about 5 seconds before Lily enters the bar, you feel a very large hand grab you on the shoulder and be like, "Ugh, you look like you need to buy the bar around, son."
I'm gonna look at him. Is he fat, muscular, squat? What am I looking at here?
You're looking at I would say 6'2" man in his, I would say early 50s, but like built, leather jacket or leather vest actually with various MC patches.
Oh.
And you look, it looks like he's one of the owners of the 3 motorcycles you saw out front. His 2 friends, one a young man in his 20s, and the other one seems to be the same age as this guy. All very muscular, are eyeing you with.
I'm gonna give him
annoyance.
like, I'm just gonna be looking at him like, son, you have no idea how many rounds it's gonna take to make tonight go away. And let me just tell you, Daddy's paying. And like, I'm gonna put a hand on his shoulder, like we're like the new best friends, and I'm gonna turn. It's like, barkeep, a round for my new friend here, and I'm gonna like slap her on the back and be like, "What's your name again?"
My name is Robert. Bill. You can call me. Or sorry, William. My name is Bill. This is Robert. Call him Bob, and David. Hey Joe. Pour the good stuff. Now, Harrow, I want to describe that. Lily, you see at this point, this man like guiding Harrow to their table. Harrow, this kind of hurts your soul a little bit. The bartender grabs the good stuff, which is a bottle of scotch, but it looks like it's Johnny Walker Black Label. Like it is.
Oh, not even the new Game of Thrones edition. What the heck?
Yeah, it is. Like you kind of notice the low end table, and you're like looking at like the plastic jugs of vodka are on the bottom shelf of this bar. Yeah, but it looks like no one's paying attention to you, Lily, as you walk in. Everyone seems to be watching this intruder.
Okay, so looking around, do I see the man that Yuri had described as Vladislav?
No.
I'm gonna see if I can see like where the back office might be.
Yeah, it's behind the bar. It looks like the office is also the storage room.
Okay, I am. So long as no one's looking at me, I'm gonna go head to the women's restroom and then use my. Is it obfuscate or cloak of shadows where I disappear?
Yeah, this is a really shit bar. The restroom is outside.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not gonna work.
Also, remember, Cloak of Shadows, you can't move. That's one
Right.
where you have to stay still.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So is the barkeep the barkeep bring the drinks over to these guys or stand
No.
behind the bar? Okay.
Nope. Drops it on the table. You actually see the younger one. He walks up, grabs it's actually the full bottle, and pours it out. There is a waitress that goes around and serves the rest of the people drinks, because Harrow is buying the entire bar around right now.
All right.
And most
Well-
of them, like, it's random. It's whatever they were drinking before that she just drops off the drink in front of them.
All right. I'll go to the guy behind the counter and lean over in a way where the prettiness can actually be seen in the light.
You get the distinct feeling Joe is trying to look down your shirt right now.
Yep. And go, is Vladislav around? I'm supposed to be meeting him.
I don't know anybody by that name.
Oh, really?
Really?
You mean that I've been stood up and sent to this interesting little bar for no reason?
If you want company, I'm off in a few hours. He's like, again, in keeping with he very much matches this bartender very much matches the decor of the rest of the bar.
Right. I'm not entirely sure how to convince him to get Vladislav out here.
Yuri told you how to.
All right. I'll go ahead and order a scotch on the rocks.
Okay. He grabs the bottom shelf scotch, which is Johnny Walker Red Label, which might just be the most disgusting whiskey you've ever had in your life. And yeah, pours a shot for you.
Okay.
Around that time, you actually see him like he looks at the empty bottle and walks into the back room.
Okay.
And it's like, and he goes, "Missy, watch the bar for me." And you see the waitress kind of walk back around.
Okay.
Okay. And Cece, you can take a seat at the end of the bar. No one's really paying attention to you.
Perfect. Could I do Sense Unseen?
Sure. Can you?
Just because I'm paranoid.
Okay. That just lets you see supernatural creatures, right?
Yeah, basically auras and if there's traces of things or whatever.
Okay. Give me a wits aspects roll, just so I can figure out what information you actually get. And Yuri, what are you doing?
Well, since I know there's a back door,
Mhm.
I was working my way back to go talk to him privately before they decided to talk to him.
Okay, so we'll get to that. So you know the typical way of approaching him. You've probably actually been here, like not to the bar, but you dealt with Vladislav before. You knock on the back door. He one of his bodyguards opens it up and goes, "Oh, Yuri, does the bus want something?
Yes, I must talk.
Come in, come in."
Can I come in? So, boss has a job for you tonight. If you're willing to work with me to get the job done, then no harm has to come to you. Unfortunately, and I'm saying pay my respects as I do this whole thing, I'm here to collect if you don't want to take the job.
Of course, of course. I can do any job. Has he agreed to my request yet? Um,
Well, this will go big towards your request if you are able to succeed.
oh, then of course, of course. Okay. It's just. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the dogs' names. Or come up with them. Uh, Philly has been so sick lately, and I was really hoping we could. It's the old medicine's not working anymore, and I want a permanent solution for it.
Well, I'm sure if you help us, or if you work with me to get this job done, I'm sure the boss will be able to help you out. I'll even put a good word in for you.
Oh, of course, of course. What do you need done? I'll do anything.
So then I pull out a copy of all the pictures that we've had a chance to take, all the information that have been storing that I've gotten from my private eye and everybody else, and put it in his office and say, these belong to you now. The whole story is you were paid off by, and I'll say whoever else we want, someone else to blame, that he was paid off to do this job and to make it look like it comes back to us, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And just trying to get as much information as I can down. Here's all the other things for it, and then pretty much just every information that I should know about this, he will know now, and it's supposed to be taking his priority for it.
Okay, and about halfway through this conversation, I would say, Joe, who you probably actually haven't met, comes in and is like, "Hey, boss, you forget about you had a date, and if that is your date, damn."
So I let him know that is one of the people that are here to talk to him about business. I just want to ask a couple of questions. I'm pretty sure nothing's going to happen, and I'll be here watching your back just in case something does.
Well, thank you.
And I let him know, and I walk my way back to the front to make it look like I'm working with him, kind of thing.
Okay. And okay, yeah. So you actually get around this time. Joe comes and is like, he comes back with another bottle of Red Label, puts it down where it was. Miss, your appointment might be waiting for you in the back room.
Oh, thank you very much.
And he actually moves the bar separator up to let you through.
Okay. I'm going to look over at Cece and go, think you'd like a little extra entertainment? You want to join me?
Sure. Come after.
Joe actually looks envious. Harrow, you see them ducking back across. And you walk in enough time to see them walking into the bar. Do you want to follow them? Or walking behind the bar?
I'll just walk in and sit at the bar.
Okay. So you guys go into the back room. It's stock full of cheap liquor. There's two. They look like they were hired more for their mass than they were for their actual skill. Like both of you are pretty good at sensing other predators. There's nothing really dangerous about them besides like they might be able to sit on you. And then a greasy weasel of a man. You're pretty sure this is Vladislav. Literally is like sorting through pictures right now that have been placed on his desk.
Ooh. I'm going to go ahead and lean over his desk and ask him, so, you want to fill me in on what you were doing?
Huh? Who? Oh, you must be Lily. I was hired to I was hired as a go-between. He is a horrible liar, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Do go on.
Yeah. You know the O'Connells? They you would know them as like the equivalent of the Irish mob. They wanted a job done. I don't know. They just told me to to have this kid to have you followed and send them to this kid. I figured they just sometimes you have to you want to do favors to keep the peace.
You want to tell me what's really going on?
That is what's going on. I swear.
Can I
I'm going to
step next to Lily and add presence to intimidate or persuade him into agreeing to actually talk to her?
Give me
Because
a.
it's obvious he's lying.
Okay, so I need a. So you're helping Lily intimidate. So I need a charisma intimidation check from you, and whatever successes will be added to Lily's dice pool.
Okay.
You get
Why-
one extra dice.
Okay, so charisma, intimidation.
Yeah, and your looks do. Your look benefit does add to this.
Okay, so that's 7 dice then.
One, two. Wow, you guys are rolling awesome today.
Yeah.
Willpower check. Which he succeeds at.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bite the tip of my thumb.
At the shot of his fangs, his demeanor changes immediately. As soon as he notices your fangs. It's like, oh, they didn't tell me you were one of those. Can you fix my dog? He actually grabs one of the Pomeranians. I'll tell you anything you want to know. Just please embrace my dog. You know that is impossible.
Okay, I was gonna say, am I understanding this right? That he's saying, "Can you make my dog a vampire?"
Yes.
Basically. Let's just lie. Say, sure, we'll bring him back tomorrow.
Go for it.
Okay, so he's not going to even question you. If you say he'll bring him back tomorrow, he hands you his dog.
Sure.
All
I
right.
take the dog.
Okay.
Now I need full disclosure on what's really going on.
I don't know. I just got instructions to make sure it looked like it was me and to do the O'Connells. I don't know.
And who told you to do this?
Yuri. He said he was delivering orders from boss.
Oh snap! Bus roll.
Yep. Ha. Huh. And that's all you know.
Yeah. That's all I know.
Okay. I'm going to need all of the pictures and other evidence that you have scattered over your desk.
It's like, I have this. And the like what he was trying to go through.
Okay. Is there a back way out of this place?
Yeah, just whenever that he indicates the back door.
You said he's not a vampire, right?
He is not a vampire. He's a blood golem.
And no one else in the room is?
No one else in the room is.
Because I can cloud memory and hand him back the dog, and then we just leave.
Okay.
All right.
I really thought CC would look fun carrying around a Pomeranian for the rest of the game.
I did too, except for the fact that I realized that she would probably feel really bad about lying and taking his precious dog. So,
Okay.
But the next time you flex up on a werewolf while holding a Pomeranian, it's probably also flexing up on said werewolf.
like, what up, catch? And then it's this yappy Pomeranian.
Okay. So I will tell you, Yuri and Harrow, there's been something must have actually gone well for once, because there was a lot less commotion or screaming than usually what happens when CC and Lily are together.
No fire, no gunshots, no demons. Good day.
No cops.
I mean, something went
Once,
terribly wrong.
Yeah.
once CC does cloud memory and we leave, I'm going to text Harrow that Yuri was actually the one behind this.
Technically,
Heading
you
out.
don't know that. Technically, what you just heard was that Yuri was acting under orders from his boss.
All right, I will text then Yuri was acting under orders from his boss to pin this on this Vladislav guy.
Harrow's gonna like glance at his phone, but he's schmoozing. He's making biker friends right now. Like,
Because you're actually paying, and I'm assuming Harrow is actually paying. Because
well, yeah, I'm sure I've got the credit card to whoever I ate last night.
Yeah.
So, Daddy's paying, like I said.
yeah, okay. Wait, it is. Yeah, the card is getting maxed out, regardless of how much you actually order. It is.
Yeah,
It's
I'm okay
probably
with that.
already been maxed out. Like it's not.
Perfect.
So yeah, you're. So Harrow hasn't left the bar. Yuri, they haven't returned yet. Are you guys going back in the bar?
Not yet. Gonna
We
talk
lost
to
Terry.
Yep. Gonna talk
There he
to
is.
CC out there. Probably actually at the van.
Mm-hmm.
And ask her, do you think that Yuri's boss has something over on him?
You guys
Can you
know
think-
Yuri's boss. Like you don't know. You don't like. It's always the boss. It's never like his name doesn't really come up much. But Yuri's boss is his sire. You guys know that.
So he might not even need that motivation. He might just do whatever this guy says.
It still doesn't explain why his boss or his sire was targeting my brother, though.
Probably you.
Yeah, probably.
Just super blunt. If there's no other connection he has to this world.
I
Not-
will let you know, Lily, that
Mhm.
while you're not exactly the most politically savvy person in the world, you spent the last 5 years eating drug dealers.
Oh, that's right. That's probably cutting into his profits.
Quite substantially.
They may not love that.
Probably not. Well, how to get my
Well-
brother safe?
So since it's been a while, I'll probably take out my flip phone,
Mhm.
go through like all the letters, trying to text her.
Yeah.
Everything's okay.
You actually blend in really well with this bar, with this damn flip phone. But, yeah, it takes a bit. But yeah, you guys get a text about this time. And it's just you checking in. Just Yuri's check. You're just trying to figure out where everybody is. So yeah,
Because I'm worried about them.
Well, I'll tell Lily, regardless of what the reasons for everything are, I'm with you and I'll help you however I can.
Thank you.
Her primary tie to all of this situation at this point is just Lily.
I guess about this. We could go back in and find out how Harrow's doing, and then
Everybody is
Ghost-
loving Harrow right now. Like it is. In fact, around this time, you actually see Vladislav actually wanders out with his Pomeranian, looking very confused. But like he asks the bartender about something, and like you see Joe and Vladislav have a conversation. Vladislav like grabs one of the just a random bottle off the bar and walk back into his office. And he kind of indicates to make sure that just keep on charging until the card maxes out, basically. But otherwise, the bar seems livelier than it has been in a long time.
Free booze does that.
Also, fops in tuxedos that don't belong, sitting with bikers.
Mm-hmm.
Places
Yeah.
I've always been in a long time.
Yes, that too.
Are you going to try to do anything like intelligence gathering or anything while you're having this conversation with these people, making contacts, anything?
I figure they might make some good contacts for now, but I'm not I don't even actually have any personal side quest goals running right now, so I'm just
Okay.
schmoozing it
I,
up.
I will give you this is different. Make a note somewhere. Your contacts you now have the contacts on the Fallen Angels Biker Club or
Fallen Angels,
Fallen
not
Angels.
not the Sons of Arnaki. Damn it!
No, motorcycle club. Um,
Copyrighted.
they they're more well they're usually arms dealers, but like they're more known for for providing protection to like various smugglers, basically.
So they are the Sons of Anarchy, just with a new name.
Well, it's what most motorcycle clubs do, honestly. Illegal motorcycle clubs do is
So judgmental.
it's how they make their money. But the yeah, that's pretty much it. Unless you guys are going to try to accomplish anything else, around midnight, you all get a text message from Aki.
Okay.
He needs you to meet him at the Phoenix. There's going to be Elysium has been declared, and there's going to be a conclave for settling disputes between some of the factions of Sonoma and determining the final or determining the allegiance of the and he said puts it in quotes and you can almost hear the derision drifting off of him, the principality of the Sonoma Marin area.
Ah. Settling disputes. This might be good.
Entertaining, if nothing else.
Yeah. You think Father Matthias and Eki are going to get into it?
Fingers crossed.
Okay. Do you want to ride there together, or did you take a separate vehicle?
I assumed if it was too far for my bike that I would have ridden
Yeah,
in with you in the van. Shotgun, of course.
Of course. Okay. Well, I think I'm ready to head to the Phoenix.
Okay. Harrow, you sticking around or you gonna head?
If I didn't get any pressing invites from anyone to join them for wherever they're headed next, then I'll probably stick around for a little before the credit card finally does cap out. At which point I'll make a big show about, and it's iced, and like chuck it into like the nearest glass of whatever booze there is, and be like, "Sorry, that's a night for me."
Okay. I would say it's like 15 minutes after they leave that it finally runs out for narrative purposes, which means you actually catch up to them because you do have a fast car.
Yeah.
Did anyone
Yuri,
move the knife, or is that
you
guy's
actually
tire
get
still
two
gonna get
texts. You
jacked?
get one from Mackie and then one from your boss. Your boss is going to be attending this. You would actually know there hasn't been one of these in 15 years. Usually everyone tries to stay out of each other's business. But there's been some disturbing developments as of late that they want to address.
So I'd have to leave, go back to my place and get my suit on.
Okay.
Yeah. I think both Lily and Cece are going to need to swing by their places for probably nicer clothes, because I was envisioning for the bar, Lily was actually in jeans and the nice soft fuzzy hoodie that we had picked up, now freshly cleaned.
Okay. So you guys go grab nice clothes. You have nothing indicating that you need to be in nice clothes. The suit is more because that's you being a bodyguard, right? It's like it's your uniform. So, but Cece, weirdly, you do not get any of the indication that your mom is going to be attending. So I would say Yuri. Well, actually, because Harrow, while he's last to leave, is the only one not changing. So Harrow, you show up first. The Phoenix is like the Phoenix was the last time you were here. There, you see it. There's parking is actually relatively easy to get to. Downtown Petaluma seems abandoned, which is, I mean, it's like at this point about 1 o'clock in the morning, but that's not common. And as you enter, you see, so Aki is actually behind the bar, just kind of waiting, propped up against a wine glass in his hand with obviously not wine in it. And he's like, and he just looks bored, honestly.
I will probably go over and lounge next to Eki and not force any kind of conversation, but just kind of like he knows where my allegiance kind of is leaning, even though Harrow really hasn't staked out any sides per se. He's been kind of Eki's go-to guy on a couple of things, so he's gonna kind of, hang out with the guy he knows.
Eki actually kind of motions, and you see a
Now I feel like a whipping boy. I'm going over there. No, I'm kidding.
No, not to you. He motions to like to a human you hadn't seen, kind of in the shadows. Walks up and actually like presses his hand over a glass and bleeds into the glass, and then he actually disappears back into the shadows.
Nice, classy. I will salute Mr. Eki and sample the fine goods.
Yeah, as I said, Eki just looks bored, and probably like this is the first time you've really seen Eki look tired. It looks like it's been a rough week or so. Around this time, I would say, Yuri, you would be getting there with your boss. Harold, this is the first time you've seen Yuri's boss. Yuri's boss looks actually very similar to Yuri, but taller and balder. Still, suit, no tie, small gold chain around his neck. Same kind of dangerous muscle build that Yuri has. A more wary glance towards you. He's definitely old. He's definitely old. Like there's and just he gives you kind of a assessing glance of one criminal to another. And
insolent smirk is my response, as always.
And then Yuri, your boss ends up posting up, kind of on the opposite wall of Eki, but more into the corner, and just says, "These things are supposed to be peaceful, but I've never seen one end that didn't involve some amount of violence. Just unless it involves our interests directly, try to stay out of it. I don't like getting involved in the politics of these creatures." This is to you.
As you wish, boss. I have a coupon. Pull out one that I made for this place because I thought it would work to try to brighten his mood.
You and your coupons. You really must show me this, how to use the internet better. You are my insight into modern technology.
I'm hip. I'm with the cool kids. I will show you everything, boss.
This is called Groupon.
Around this time, Lily and CCU show up. Also, Harrow, between all of this, you would see some of the various licks that populate the area. Tellingly, and I can't remember his name, the creepy Italian Nosferatu actually shows up. He crawls in through the sewers, looking very annoyed. And the last person to arrive, and because all of you guys would arrive there, is Father Matthias, and he comes in flanked by 3 people you do not recognize. They're very well dressed. Very, and like the Harrow, you can instantly tell designer suits, vampires. Each one actually has like a lapel pin. There's 1 woman and 2 men. The woman has it looks like a sword and a scepter pin on her lapel. One of the men has a rose, and the other has a symbol that is weird on this side of the country. You recognize it as the symbol of the Banu Hakim. Obviously, the sword and scepter, that's the Ventrue, and the rose of the Toreador.
Thank you.
This is obviously a Camarilla contingent.
Okay. I'd probably head over to Eki and once I had a chance, ask. You said that these things, any disputes or conflict could be addressed?
Yes. Good friend Father Matthias feels that the rogue elements in the county have gotten out of hand and are attracting the wrong attention. That a firmer grasp is needed to maintain control. So he's called in them. It indicates the 3 people in suits.
Okay. So how does all of that work?
I mean,
Like, do you-
Marcus will call us to order, at which point actually you see the Nosferatu pace and like slam a staff on the ground, not like a full staff, more like a cane, and everyone hushes. And then we discuss whether or not we want to join the Camarilla or not.
Ah, I see.
Your boss is like, we will deal with it in a little bit. This might cut into our bottom line if they agree to this shit. He's whispering this to you, Yuri. He's Marcus is like, we have a request. Father Matthias, please present your petition before all of us gathered here. Which point, Father Matthias starts doing some grandstanding. But basically, he's talking about troubling incidents that have happened recently. The grape crop, which is the wine is the primary source of most of the funding for the vampires around here, have been afflicted by, are starting to develop a strange fungus that is attacking specific grape crops. He suspects some will worker interference. The latest incident, and he actually indicates both Harrow. He actually looks at Harrow and Lily on that one. Was a gigantic violation of the masquerade.
Was it really? We didn't actually do anything to show that we were vampires during all of that.
Large
Says that out
illusion,
loud.
a bunch of cops providing sworn testimony of an illusion.
Illusions? Like what? Like light shows? Was David Copperfield in town? I didn't know that we had magicians here.
Aki, by the way, goes like this, starts coughing as soon as, like, it's both a like he's laughing, but at the same time trying to get you to shut up.
That
Okay.
never works.
Yeah. Father Matthias also is like, we also, actually, Father Matthias doesn't say this, but halfway through, the Toreador actually is like, we also lost a major member of our community, a long-standing elder of our community, not 2 months ago, to a
Really?
coordinated attack.
Wait, he's lost or he's dead? I'm confused.
He met final death.
Oh, wow. That should make room for upward mobility for you. Win-win.
He just stares coldly at you. Father Matthias spends probably about an hour rattling off various incidents, a lot of which you guys were involved in. Some of you didn't even know about. He starts talking about how the Kuei-jin are becoming more brazen, crossing into Sonoma, because there's not a strong leadership to prevent them, and various things. You can actually get the sense that both Eki's annoyed. The Marcus, who's probably the closest thing to a leader in the area, is actually looking visibly affronted, but he can't really do anything about it.
Affronted by Father Matthias's grandstanding, or
About the lack of strong leadership.
okay.
He's subtly calling out basically the various barons around. So that would be technically CC. or
I was thinking that, but I wasn't going to say anything yet.
yeah. And then obviously Marcus and Eki. But yeah, basically he's calling for a stronger hand. At which point the Ventrue stands up. And just to be clear, the the Ivory Tower continues to offer sanctity to anyone who swears fealty to it, even people of unusual births. And he's actually staring right at you, Lily, on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought that was going to come my way, like the middle finger was going up.
Now, typically, Kaidif are seen as even lower than Ravnos. So,
Barely, but there.
yeah.
Eat him, Lily, eat him.
Eki at this point pipes up. We've always been independent here. Look at what happened. He brought up San Francisco. Look at what happened to the Camarilla. They don't provide any power. They just provide shackles.
While perhaps we could use a stronger leader in power here, I do not believe that the Camarilla is the way to go, giving up all of our individuality and freedom.
At this point, the Toreador asks, we don't ask for your individuality or freedom.
Of course not. You don't ask anything. Some other guy does, but you lost him or he's dead. I'm still confused on the particulars there because you pointed your finger and I didn't appreciate it. Why are you talking again?
At which point he actually turns to me, and this is why you need our assistance. Harrow, how old actually is Harrow? How old actually is Harrow, Chester?
Oh, he's not that old.
He's-
12th generation.
He's like, at most, he's like 40 something, right?
Yeah, because he came about right after the whole
Week of
nightmare.
Nightmares.
Yeah,
Week of
that's in
Nightmares.
my.
So
that's
he's
in
been
my
a vampire
shenanigans.
for about 15 years. So he's like, no child would dare speak of an elder that way, and in Camarilla territory, you wouldn't even have a voice at our meetings, and yet you dare speak to me.
You know, I think that's why we have a problem with the Camarilla, because our younger members can provide valuable input as well as teaching us about the world that we move through.
Looking around, by the way, you actually realize that all of you are by far the youngest people there.
Mm.
And actually, when you say young, like the Banu Hakim, who hasn't said anything, looks at you, eyes go wide for a second, whispers something, and then it's like, and there's just this sense of knowing about something. And then and the Toreador is like, fine. We'll listen to child, but I refuse to listen to a Diablerist. At which point there is anyone that has any aspects is definitely looking at you, and there is a murmur going through this crowd, and you suddenly get this sense that everyone's looking at you with extreme hatred, Lily.
Quick
Yeah.
question. In that look, do we also, since I have aspects, are we also encompassing CC?
Yep.
Because I didn't know about that one.
Yeah.
So
Also
shock
they all
maybe on
are
my face
No.
too now that I'm
and
looking.
No, nothing. What?
At this point, Aki, by the way, actually steps forward and they were justified. A blood hunt was in order. I was well aware of it. I take full responsibility. Matthias looks like he's just a flash of triumph goes from Matthias. So you accept responsibility for their crimes. They weren't, and you now have a little politic argument going on between Matthias and Neki. I don't want to role play with myself, so we're not going to go into it.
Okay.
But you get the sense that basically, what Eki has done is said that, and that Matthias, or actually the Camarilla, Matthias knew about the Diablerie as well, but the Camarilla wants to put on a trial
For who specifically?
for you two, for Lily and Cece.
But Eki saying that we were authorized a blood hunt for.
So really, they want to put Eki on trial, but
We're being used as a front for it.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yuri, your boss still is just like, so far none of this has anything to do with us. You have any? I mean, I could get involved. Do you have any real need for anything to help? Like, which way do you want to lean here, Yuri?
Whatever way is easier for you, boss.
I like the freedom of the anarchs. The Camarilla are always so nosy into what I'm doing. That's pretty much all he says on that front. But yeah, you guys, it's long, and the arguments are now like, if you were to kind of try to figure out where everything stands, if there was a vote, it would probably lean in Eki's favor. But if the fight would break out, the people leaning towards the Camarilla are all the older members, while and it would be bloody, and it would not end well.
Early casualty. Early casualty.
Sorry, I just looked at chat. Actually, sorry, you just did something that is really gonna. Oh God. Okay, so what Harrow just did, the Toreador
That was a while back.
and throws himself at you, Harrow.
What a breach of protocol.
And
So immature.
well, yeah,
So
it's really
immature.
bad.
He's talking about children. Got to get a hold of that temper tantrum.
It was really bad. Now the problem is he is a 10th generation Toreador with celerity, so you don't get to make a dodge roll against this.
Yeah, I figured something like that might happen when I did it. For the record, this was back when he was on his high horse before the revelation of Diablerus came up.
I would say the Diablerie still kind of came up, but like it just
Totally
We'll just
fine. if it
pretend the
comes up now.
timing works.
Yeah, he's a douche. He deserves it. Bring
Okay.
it. Rip my head off. It's cool.
Also, it was really funny.
So this is he rolled a double 1, and normally I don't do this. He would normally succeed, but his roll is pretty crap. And honestly,
Can he pass through an illusion of Harrow that he didn't realize was there instead?
I'm gonna say like he actually like Harrow. You
Loki.
kind of you do one of these things like you take a swig, like you bend down to grab your drink just as he launches over you and just careens into the bar.
Oh, does he run into Eki accidentally? Because
No,
Eki's on
Eki
the
is.
outside the bar.
Eki actually moved outside the bar to argue, but he does
Aw.
crane into the bar and like is now
Lame.
covered in alcohol and
Can
ruins
I-
his
Definitely
suit.
laughs.
Can I
I'm
grab
definitely
him and
not.
throw him back towards the Camarilla and tell him, please control yourselves? What the fuck was that about?
I
Yeah,
thought the older vampires controlled themselves. What's this?
yeah. Roll a strength brawl check for me on that one.
Okay.
You get your
Not,
specialty.
not strength athletics? Strength
No,
brawl?
strength brawl. This is a wrestling maneuver, not a.
Okay. Other than that, do I add anything to it?
Nope. Not unless you have like fortitude or something.
I don't think I do. Okay, that's...
Okay, it
Come
says
on, come on, come on! Yes! That's a pretty good one for me tonight.
yeah, and he's gonna try to dodge. Celerity is still up, so. Wow, he rolls like shit. Okay, so
So
yeah,
he
you
gets
pick him
running
up
his
and then
mouth.
ceremoniously just toss him back at the Banu Hakim, who and the Ventru. The Ventru actually sidesteps his friend. He's not dirty in his suit or her suit. Sorry, the Banu Hakim like grabs him, actually by like the neck and whispers something in his ear, and I mean he's a vampire, so he's already super pale, but he seems to get paler.
Harrow is gonna say something along the lines of composure. It's not just for the new generation, because that's also my highest stat. Fuck him.
Okay, because you actually get some whisperings. It sounds like the tide is turning against the Camarilla with that one. Like that was really bad breach, and it was an Elysium breach too. So the Ventru actually like we'll take care of him. It's
How? By silencing him like you want to everyone else?
Let's just let them handle their people. If they're gonna handle it, let them handle it.
actually, you know what? That's a valid question. Let's show you exactly how strong Camarilla justice is. At which point, the Banu Hakim actually, like, pulls out a really sharp knife and just decapitates the Toreador.
Not a terribly convincing argument for joining sides. Just thinking that in my head. Not quite saying it. I think everyone's probably thinking it, but yeah. Also, they just lost a fighter, so good job.
And unfortunately for Lily, now she could smell that delicious
Oh, God damn it.
blood.
So can
Ask
Cece.
my head like a shot. Just toss it.
And it doesn't dust. It's vampire blood. I need willpower checks from both CC and Lily. Lily, this is going to be a willpower 3 for you. and CC it's only sorry, for Lily it's a difficulty 3. For CC it's a difficulty 1.
How come?
She's way more addicted to.
Oh no, I know that, but I didn't know that is that what the Diablerism is?
Uh-huh.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
you said willpower.
Yeah, willpower.
Got it.
Can I burn a hunger or something to reroll or anything?
No.
Rouse the blood and do it again.
Rouse the blood? Anything?
You can't. Okay, so CC, you're fine, except. Great. You got a compulsion. Give me a roll just 1d10 for me, please.
See, if you had that Pomeranian, you could be throwing it right now.
Lily.
That's for werewolves only.
You get a point of hunger.
Okay.
I'm not making you actually feed, but you're staring at this and you like, oh god, they look so tasty.
Yep.
Yummy, yummy.
Give me a second. Shayna.
Sorry. My bad.
Hopefully they would have explained before we started talking what the rules of the discussion were, so we're not actually saying stuff. But nothing but that.
What's up?
Well, I was saying because it's been 15 years since people have been here. You know, some people haven't even gone. I would hope they would have said something about talking out of turn for reasons. But
Where's the fun in that? That's how we create situations like this. Keep things entertaining for those old dusty bastards. Harrow is really in his element tonight. It's a good time.
I can tell he's just in a
CC,
good
you
mood.
now, for the rest of the scene, and this is a horrible time to have this, have the dominance compulsion. The vampire turns a civil conversation or a conversation into a one-upsmanship exercise, alienating people as they do so.
Flex up. Throw Yuri at them.
so if she has the same tongue or same look that you did
I
when she
was
was in
just
the
gonna
car,
say, do I like?
I'm gonna say shotgun.
Bitch, I would immediately run for the car too. Like, I'll just dive through the goddamn door. I don't even care. I will push.
Yeah, all of
Camilla
you
out
have
of the
seen
way.
this before. Like, this is what she like. She straightens up and like it's. We remember it from when she tried to pick a fight with a werewolf. Like,
This is
Yeah,
kind of
like
like,
the
your favorite
shoulders,
compulsion.
come back, and I lean a little bit, and
Yeah.
just. If he actually yells shotgun, I do legitimately start to move towards the van, like the door to get out.
okay.
Like,
You're not gonna flex up on these guys trying to belittle you as a Dabblerist?
Nothing else has been said yet about that.
Yeah.
So far, the only challenge I've received since the compulsion took place is for fucking shotgun.
Did you actually yell out shotgun? Like, you would have seen it.
Yeah, and like I said, if I see her then get ready to do like she did before when she did that before, I would do that just
Okay.
because.
Yeah. So yeah, you hear shotgun coming from Yuri.
Hyper aware just of the turn. I see him, and I'm like, I immediately am like, I always get shotgun. You guys never listen to me, and I just talking to myself and them, and don't care who else hears. I'm going to.
Everybody just kind of like, what the fuck? Like,
Everyone will dismiss me. I'm Malkavian.
mhm.
No, Lily just acts totally calm as CC just runs out towards the van. That's totally normal for her.
I
Don't
like
worry
to
about it.
I like to think I'm speed walking, like I'm keeping an eye on Yuri to make sure he doesn't try to run and beat me.
But the old
I'm
people
like, I'm
think she's
speed walking.
literally going for a shotgun now, right?
All they heard was shotgun, and all I said was,
Oh
"It's
yeah,
mine."
and actually,
You
there's
guys
a
never
few of them
listen.
that like the really old ones that when Yuri
Yeah, they
yelled
don't
out
know this one.
shotgun, like dove for cover. And then
Not
the I knew what that meant. Like, I'm not that out of touch.
Just
There you
give her
go.
a few minutes. She's gonna go to the van. She'll be right back. Don't worry about it.
With a shotgun.
So yeah, like So right now, actually, I would say the whispers. I'm going to say Harrow is probably paying attention, and Yuri, you kind of are hearing these whispers too. Now everyone's really confused. Like the Camarilla have really they killed somebody. They've broken face. Obviously, they can't control themselves. How are they supposed to control a territory? But also, like, who are these children that are
Turning this meeting into a playground.
yeah.
That are now tarring and feathering the cartoon illusion of the Toreador bastard.
who's
If he
very
breaks
dead.
into a rage before I leave, I feel like I would probably fight him. If I haven't already left.
The Toreador's throat is completely cut in half.
Oh, right. He doesn't have a head anymore. Forgot about that.
I've had worse.
'Tis but a scratch.
Actually, at around this point, the Camarilla are knowing that they're losing. It's been a long night for everyone, I'm sure. We will adjourn to our safe havens. All of us think what we've said. You can make your decision in 3 nights' time. Harrow, you're muted.
What about an apology for the lady here that you have grossly offended? And I
Ladies.
point to Lily and Cece. Well, you left, so there's just Lily.
Fair.
We don't apologize to Diablerists. The
but it was
the actual the
blood
Banu Hakim person actually is like
right. I was wondering about that. But I will be sanctioned blood hunt. Pay attention. You're all under the bylaws and whatnot.
we will see.
You will see what.
Well, if it was a sanctioned blood hunt, I never heard anything.
I'm sorry. Are you now calling Eki a liar? I wouldn't do that. Eki's a pretty cool guy, but I wouldn't do that.
All of us lie.
Oh,
I'm sorry. What is your name? You've been
My
talking a
name?
lot.
I do that. And someday, if you play your cards right, maybe I'll tell you my name. But right now, you won't even apologize to my friend for calling her a Diablerist.
He just turns to Lily. I am sorry for calling you a Diablerist.
Thank you very much. That's all Lily says.
And then they as long as if you guys aren't doing anything else, they leave. Matthias actually looks like looks somewhat embarrassed. I know there are among you people that understand the wisdom of what I propose today, and despite stubbornness, I know you do too. And he's talking to Eki, and Eki it's not worth it. It's not worth it, Matthias. And then Matthias wanders off. At which point you see Marcus actually look at Eki. I don't care what happens to you guys, to you all. I really don't. My territory remains the same, whether we're under Camarilla or the Anarchs. But
Way to have a spine, brah.
my cowardice has kept me alive. And then he actually leaves too.
Noted.
Everyone starts filtering out. Your boss is like, well, that was a colossal waste of time.
Before Yuri's boss leaves,
Mm-hmm.
she is going to walk over to him and Yuri,
Okay.
pull out all the paperwork, hand it to his boss, and go, we need to have a talk to determine why you're targeting my brother.
Your brother is ripe for recruitment. By the way, Shayna, Cece is around this time. Cece has realized no one is coming to get the
I've
shotgun.
been tricked. I've been had.
You actually see people start filtering out, and everybody is actually kind of looks at you.
I'm just
weirdly,
guarding the van door.
like this is my seat.
Mine. All of you. I don't know if you think you're getting a ride with us, but that's my seat. Okay, if I never see Yuri or Lily or anyone come out,
It's well, because yeah. So Lily is just was like he's right for recruitment.
He is not to be recruited. If you recruit him, then we are going to have a problem.
And who are you that I should be so scared of?
I smile.
And I whispered to him, just trying to pass whatever you talked about. This is the person I worked with, blah, blah, blah.
No,
So just Yuri.
he's very aware. I will stop harassment of whoever this is to you. He says it. This is really weird because he actually doesn't know, but he says it in a way that makes it sound like he knows who he is to you without, but like whoever this might be. But perhaps you will be a favor. I know you've done favors for Eki in the past.
I have indeed. I'll hold my hand out for the paperwork again.
He moves it back to you.
Put it away.
This boy has a protection. I will leave him alone, and I will call on a favor sometime in the near future.
That was less than satisfying, but it'll do.
Are you leaving?
Yep, I'm leaving.
As soon as Lily leaves Yuri, he kind of goes like, Yuri, I don't know what game you're playing at, but please stop.
Of course,
And
boss.
Harrow's
My hand
still
is on
there,
the-
so he kind of went, what?
It was fairly quiet, so.
Then I guess I'm still sitting at the bar with Eki.
Uh-huh. Well, yeah, Eki comes back. Like, we have 3 days. They're going to make a display of power. You know that, right?
Cool. Cool. Can we kill some more Toreador? That was actually really fun.
Maybe we can kill a Ventru and an assassin.
I mean, I'm all for that Venture bitch, but the assassin guy seemed kind of cool.
My clan and his don't traditionally get along.
Yeah.
The assassin will probably come for me. I can handle that. I'm more worried about whatever display the Ventru is going to invoke.
That's probably my problem, huh?
I would imagine so.
Cool. Hopefully I'm better at hide and seek than they are.
And you do have your talents, Harrow. I'll give you that. Also, what was with the shotgun thing? CC just left for no reason.
Yeah, she was getting that whole flex up vibe. Remember that day we told you she flexed up on a werewolf, like a real werewolf, because she thought she could take him?
We
saw that.
I got that. I was actually worried she was coming to come back with a shotgun.
Yeah, it's a modern game that Yuri likes to play with her, where they fight over who gets the passenger seat in the car. So we just redirect her dominance issues into racing for the seat. And if someone had beaten her to the seat, she might have gotten into a fight, but no one knew what was going on, so it works out really well. Yuri's pretty smart sometimes.
I'll keep that in mind. And that's right. It's early, but that's where we'll kill it for tonight, as I need to plan out what the hell the Venture is going to do.
Yay!
He's going to kill Harrow. That's what he's going to do.
I didn't expect the Toreador to fail a willpower check that bad.
That's what happens when you fuck with a Ravnos.
Have a good night, everybody. We will finish
Thanks,
up
guys.
our campaign next week.
How are things going with that other game where we started doing where we made the sentences?
We will start that up.
Yeah, she
I
doesn't
still-
know what we're talking about
Yeah,
yet.
I still need to do Shayna's character. We need to set up for Shayna's character, and we need to get one more player.
There's a
I'm
thing.
lost. No one.
It's a thing with a thing.
Someone needs to update me.
Okay, so I we'll probably actually do that character next week. Part of for the next game, we're gonna be doing Invisible Sun. The character creation, you do a sentence, and it's very specific, and it takes about 30 minutes to do, and then we'll do your character creation.
Okay. So we're gonna do that next week.
Most likely.
Okay. Sounds good.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
See y'all Saturday.
Yeah.
Yep. See you Saturday.